Oh, it's good to be back in the office. Happy holidays, everyone! And welcome back, once again, to Home Safety Hotline. This is basically the tech support horror game in which we play as an overstressed, underpaid intern, taking calls from terrified people and trying to diagnose their otherworldly home maladies. This was a really fun and interesting game because a lot of the time we were essentially just reading through an encyclopedia, trying to learn about all these different creatures and entities, and trying to take terrified people's descriptions of things they don't understand and trying to diagnose based on very limited information. It was a lot of fun, and we aced it, thank you very much, leading to my promotion in the company, which is good because there were potentially dire consequences if I didn't have a good performance review. We're basically that supporting character in every horror movie who's tasked by the protagonist with researching the nature of their threat, and only in the 11th hour do we call them in a frenzy about the huge revelation we've just uncovered. Only for us, it's just a job, and we do this 10 times a day. I love this brand of encyclopedia horror because it allows us to explore these creatures in far more detail than we would if we were running from them or trying to kill them ourselves. And it allows these creatures to be so much more complex and interesting. Not everything needs to be trying to chase you down a hallway and bite your legs off. It could be something far more subtle. It could be innocuous. It could even be ridiculous or surreal. And you can just feel all throughout how much fun this was to make. It was made by somebody who just has such a love of creatures and exploring everything you can do when reality's your playground. And naturally, you guys have been begging me since I played this in the late summer to check out the DLC. But Seasonal Worker is a winter-themed DLC, so of course I had to wait for winter. And it's December 1st, so in we go. It's got its own menu and everything, and considering we just rose through the ranks, I'm pretty sure we're playing as a new intern. A temporary seasonal worker, as it were. Logging in user Rebecca. Wait, you get to be Rebecca? I was just guest. I've been recognized by the boss herself in a fairy ritual, and you get a name. Well, okay, that's new. Let's have a look at our inbox. Welcome back from HSH Corporate. Rebecca, all of us here at HSH are ever grateful for your annual service during one of our busiest and most vital work weeks. While we only get to experience your talents for 1 week every year, we just want you to know you are highly valued here and an important member of the HSH family. Best of luck this year, Rebecca. We're all counting on you. So we're not an intern, we're actually a regular. Oh, an irregular regular. Rebecca! From Rodney. Dog! I heard you were back in the office today. You aren't going to forget about coming to say hi to your best pal Rodney from IT, are you? I know you wouldn't dare forget. Remember, I got serious dirt on you, dog. Some of us actually remember last year's Christmas party. Anyway, glad to have you back. See you around. Rodney. Rodney better be okay. Subject line, Daily Twilight Report, December 22nd, 1996. Phenomena first sighted in Nunavut at approximately 0400 hours. Estimated proximity is around 300,000 miles, or 482,803.2 kilometers. Current risk profile, low to moderate. It just looks like the Northern Lights. But it's something known to you, huh? This is the sort of Men in Black appeal to this. Not only can you come up with all kinds of horrors that are totally unknown, existing parallel to everyday life, but you can also come up with cover-up explanations for things we all know. Things you couldn't hide. Let's get started. 3 days until Christmas. And Kris Kringle's coming. Cheer levels 100%. Is that our performance? All of the old things are still here, but we've got a lot more. We'll probably be getting our first call soon, but we also have to read up on these things. It's definitely best, I learned, to go through these things as early as possible. Antler growths. Antler growths are a family of fungi. We have a holiday ringtone, and it's interrupting.
It is I, Carol. It is good to have you back in our employ, Rebecca. Thou art a lifesaver every season, and thy yearly return is appreciated as always. I, of course, have no need to tell you how things work here, but I will remind you that we are hosting our annual office Christmas party again the day after Christmas. It would please me to see you there. We're all counting on you, Rebecca.
That was threatening. Yeah, but then everything you say is pretty threatening. I love how you have Christmas-themed, like, ritualistic garb. Alright, I'm waiting for the next caller. Waiting for the next caller before I start reading. Here we go.
Can you send over an electrician? Our lights keep flickering off, and we're trying to get our Christmas tree ready for when our folks arrive.
Okay, I'll put you on
Please
hold. I mean, it's probably antler growths, but we should probably do some more research. I am seriously out of practice. Antler growths are a family of fungi known for growing in tall, antler-like arrangements, most often seen growing on decomposing humans or mammals. Sufficiently large growths can often induce motor movement in their hosts. They reanimate you. As a horned terror. Danger. Antler growths are not dangerous on their own, but the movements they induce in their chosen hosts can often result in hazardous behavior towards living creatures in its vicinity, such as clawing, grabbing, or biting. Solution. To prevent antler growths from occurring during decomposition, it is advised to burn the remains of the deceased, or to otherwise bury the deceased at least 6 feet beneath the soil to ensure maximum safety from potential hazardous behaviors. It's probably not an avalanche. Probably not an avalanche. But a clotch, well, as soon as we figure out what that is. Clotch are large circular stone formations known to appear around homes during the winter. Homeowners with clotch often report clear skies, a feeling of instability and sinking. Clotch are highly hazardous to homes and their inhabitants, as the ground in the center of the formation will gradually sink lower until a deep pit is formed, damaging a home's foundation in the process and preventing homeowners from leaving. The solution is that homeowners wishing to prevent damage to their home are advised to seek the aid of the ones conducting the clotch, bringing either an offer of gold or their firstborn child. If no negotiations are possible, it is advised to vacate the home as soon as possible. The other fun thing about Encyclopedia Horror is that you have the opportunity to raise so many questions as you're answering them. Wow, all sorts of things. False carolers. Dwarves. Dwarves are small rock-like creatures known for creating and living in underground burrows, sometimes extending their territory into human homes. Homeowners with dwarf infestations often report increased heat in their home, clattering or banging sounds, and finding rubble or holes in basements or cellars. Dwarves are harmless to most mammals, with their diet consisting mostly of insects, soil, and rocks. Dwarves' burrowing activities can often cause foundational problems or structural damage to a home, however. Dwarves can be dissuaded from tunneling into a home by placing clippings of parasitic plants, such as mistletoe or rattles, in or around cellars and basements. Active infestations should be handled by HSH's pest control services. I love how some of these explain everyday traditions. I also love the remixes on certain classic creatures. Dwarves, of course, exist in known lore, but it's not often they actually are made of rock. Oh yeah, I get wind of you guys, I'm sending you right back to Boat Murdered. Elves. Hang on, part of the fun of these things is trying to figure out where they actually are in the image. Elves are humanoid creatures. Oh no, in plain sight. Plain sight. Elves are humanoid creatures with pointed ears that often inhabit large-scale human gatherings under the guise of being forgotten friends, family, or acquaintances. Homeowners who have made direct contact with elves often report headaches, nausea, or lightheadedness. Elves are known to lower the immune response of humans they come into direct contact with, often leading to the contracting of a variety of illnesses, resulting in long-term hazardous or fatal consequences. That's not jolly at all! To prevent or minimize contact with elves, it is advised homeowners do not interact with anyone they do not recognize at social functions. Don't have to tell me twice! Especially those claiming to have a history or personal connection with them. It is also advised to keep social functions to a minimum, or to closely supervise the attending parties to prevent unwanted intrusions. Elves as paranoia fuel. But what I don't understand is what the elf gets out of this. False. Oh my, look at you. False carolers are flocks of feathered humanoid creatures. That's a beak, draped in many layers of clothing that are known for their pleasant singing vocalizations, and for approaching the entrances of homes after dark. Homeowners afflicted by false carolers often report sounds of singing, missing neighbors, or large feathers appearing around neighborhood doorsteps. False carolers pose a very direct threat to humans and animals, as they are known to carry away anything that comes close enough to them, away to their nesting grounds to feed their young. If false carolers are suspected to be present in a neighborhood, all homeowners in the affected area should stay locked inside their homes until sunrise. As long as their chosen feeding grounds remain fruitful, false carolers will return to the same feeding grounds each night. Most false carolers will move on to other territories after a few consecutive nights of unsuccessful hunts. For more persistent infestations, it is highly advised to utilize HSH's pest control services. See, there's weird, there's goofy, and then there's genuinely unsettling, sometimes at the same time as goofy. Let's listen to that audio sample. I'm very curious. The idea of something that sounds like music or singing or voices until you get closer is terrifying. And this is really cool because by playing those screeching of birds first, you almost hear it in the caroling, almost as if it's unintentional. Forgotten Bogart. It's Bigfoot, I knew it! Forgotten Bogarts are a wild roaming species of Bogart that are untethered from memory. Is this what happens after they eliminate the homeowner who drew their rage? They are known to dwell in uninhabited outdoor locations such as forests or mountains until they find new homes with those who are capable of witnessing and discussing them. Like myself and all of you, homeowners that have attracted a Forgotten Bogart often report strange sightings and an obsession with discovery. Forgotten Bogarts are harmless to those unaware or indifferent to their existence, but are at risk of inhabiting the homes of those with an interest in discovering them and discussing them, thereby increasing the risk of hazardous activities such as flooding, fires, or electric outages. We've got a character arc here because these things form from Hobbes, and basically just do not want to be noticed under any circumstances, but then once they're out in the wild, it's all they want. It is advised homeowners do not dwell on the possibility of nearby Forgotten Bogarts, any Forgotten Bogart sightings, or on any thoughts of Forgotten Bogarts, to prevent them from inhabiting one's home. Never speak of a Forgotten Bogart. Oops. Mountain Warlock. Hey, howdy. Want me to bring you some Poland Spring or something? Look like you could use some amenities. I like to close my eyes when I listen to these audio samples because it really allows you to build the scene in your mind. Imagine being up in the mountains during a blizzard and hearing that echoing off the cliffs. This picture is really interesting because it's almost like those images of uncontacted tribes spotting helicopters, like it's looking up and for a brief moment those worlds are connected. Mountain warlocks are humanoid creatures resembling elderly human men. They are known to lie dormant in their high elevation domains until the winter solstice. Upon waking, their thunderous vocalizations can be heard for miles around. Homeowners affected by mountain warlocks often report echoes, rumbling, shaking, or occasionally avalanches. Mountain warlocks are highly territorial and pose a direct mortal danger to any humans or animals that settle or wander near their domain. Their earth-shaking incantations can additionally cause severe damage to a home's foundation. All you care about is foundations. Mountain warlocks cannot be safely removed by human force, but due to their severely dangerous presence, it is highly advised that homeowners utilize HSH's pest control services as soon as possible. Can you do something about it? Pine sprites. Pine sprites are a small green subspecies of sprite known for inhabiting pine trees. Homeowners with pine sprites often report rustling sounds or finding pine needles and sap in strange places. See, the appeal of a lot of these creatures is how they can so easily interject themselves into our lives, kind of like the bugs in our walls, often going completely unnoticed. Pine sprites are harmless if left to their own devices, though their behavior can turn hazardous if their home is disturbed. They've been known to sometimes cause fires or electrical shortages when electrical devices such as lights are introduced to their homes. Buddy, I might have a solution for you. Pine sprites keep their chosen homes for their entire 160 to 180 year lifespans, so it is advised to avoid disturbing them by refraining from decorating any trees they've inhabited. Homeowners may also choose to safely relocate an inhabited tree away from their home, utilizing our pest control services. I think I did hear like a little squeak, didn't I? I think that sounds like pine sprites. But once more, the best time to read these things is when they appear. Red nose. That's one of those things that's whimsical in a cartoon and horrifying in real life, as this image shows. Red nose is a seasonal illness characterized by the primary symptom of a red berry-like growth emerging from the mammalian proboscis. Most commonly occurs in wild animals, but can be transferred to humans via the spores it releases once blossomed. Red nose, while painful during the growth stage, is generally harmless to humans and animals alike, with proper rest and care. Red nose will go away on its own after it has blossomed. To prevent red nose from spreading, it is advised to quarantine the affected individual until blossoming has passed. Sinking foundation. Now, that's something that could cause conflict, a bit of issues with diagnosis, when we compare it with, what was the other thing called? Clutch. Sinking foundations are structural problems in a home's foundation, with a wide variety of causes that can lead to homes becoming damaged over time, or eventually sinking and collapsing entirely. Homeowners experiencing sinking foundations often report cracks in walls or ceilings, uneven floors, or drains not working properly. Right, because remember, we also deal with all kinds of normal maladies. I mean, we've got things like ants and bees, all the simple stuff, and we pretty much put them on the same level as all these other threats. By putting them on the same list, it really emphasizes that this is just what the world is. Most people don't know it, but these things are entirely on the same level. Sinking foundations present a severe and mortal danger to both a home and its inhabitants, as their instability and eventual collapse can cause a wide variety of hazardous situations to those entrapped within. Homeowners with sinking foundations are highly advised to utilize our foundation repair services to prevent further damage or collapse. Okay, we've still got a few weird ones here. Snow golems. Snow golems are large humanoid mounds of snow, very similar to snowmen, that are capable of moving on their own. Homeowners experiencing snow golem infestations commonly report wet floors, power outages, recently faulty or broken heaters, or strange snow formations outside the home. Snow golems can prove hazardous to humans in a variety of ways. Their tendency to target home heaters, especially during hazardous breathing weather, can cause medical issues such as frostbite or hypothermia in the affected homeowners. Direct contact with a snow golem while it is in pursuit of its target is also frequently fatal. They are strong and aggressive invaders. When caught early, snow golems can simply be removed from a home by turning up the heat to speed up their melting process, as well as blocking easy access to home heaters or fireplaces. If snow golems succeed in removing potential heat sources from a home, it is highly advised to utilize our pest control services. These festive-themed creatures should be so silly, and yet they're treated so seriously that you can't help but take them that way. It almost makes it seem like these are the things that have always been with us that inspired the traditions. Sugar wisps. Sugar wisps are an invisible subspecies of wisp known for its sweet, plum-like aroma and its ability to influence the dreams and appetites of humans. Gumdrops. Homeowners afflicted by sugar wisps often report an intense craving for sweets, dreams of dancing orbs, and malnourishment. Yeah, I get it. Sugar wisps can be quite hazardous to humans' health, thanks to their influence on the victim's preferred diet. Sustained exposure to sugar wisps can lead to mild to severe medical problems, ranging from tooth decay and diabetes to starvation. Sugar wisps can be dissuaded from influencing their chosen victims by blocking access to their victim's sense of smell. Homeowners are advised to utilize nose plugs or a similar apparatus while they sleep, until the sugar wisp eventually departs on its own. Then there's the time wisps. I could have sworn we already had something like that. Time wisps are a subspecies of wisp that appear as faint, candle-like lights with a friendly visage. Hey, that's my thing. They are known to temporarily displace objects and persons in time, and are most active at night. Homeowners that have experienced time wisps often report feeling a newfound gratitude for life, a desire to better themselves, or immense existential dread. These things are breaking into my house and trying to Miracle on 34th Street me? Are you kidding? See, this is why I have a shotgun. Time wisps' tendency towards temporal displacement, while sometimes beneficial, can often result in causing intense anxiety or stress in those that have witnessed their fates to be. I guess not everybody gets the happy ending that guy did. Time wisps will pass through on their own in the course of a single night, and no further action is required. Then there's the Twilight. We learned about you in an email. The Twilight is an annual recurring phenomenon known for its diet of fear and suffering. Should it find sufficient satiation in these cravings during its time spent in our cosmic proximity, it will proceed to consume all things that dwell above and below the soil. The Twilight is a severe existential threat to all living things, so long as it finds sufficient feeding material. Its hunger should avoid being sated at all costs. The Twilight should be kept from its desires at all costs until it moves past. To prevent its feeding, all manner of fear, agony, and suffering should be avoided or mitigated when at all possible on the calendar days of its proximity between December 21st and December 25th. That's why we needed a Christmas truce. It's also advised to spread as much cheer, celebration, and merriment during this time as is feasible. That's the cheer levels, and that's why it's so critical that we do our job in this time. So, Christmas cheer is not only something that we do in order to bring goodwill among men, it's actually necessary. A forced performance that we have to do in order to avoid being consumed by a cosmic threat. That is both terrifying and hilarious, and it's why I love this game. All right, but anyway, about your Christmas tree issues. There we go. I hope I'm right. Well, nobody's calling back, so I guess that means we're good, right? Cheer levels look normal? But then again, when I got some wrong on purpose last time, we didn't actually know for a couple days.
It's huge! I saw it tear into the cupboard. Expect for more. Send someone over quickly.
That just sort of sounded like a mouse.
Please hold.
Yeah, that really does just sound like mice. I would be very surprised if it wasn't, but there's so many of these old things that are still present. I'm not sure if it's the full list. I mean, you definitely have bed teeth. But it sounds like mice. That was very vague, though, even by this game's standards.
I think some kids are building some forts on our property. I'm looking at a bunch of big tall mounds outside our house, just coming from about every angle. I need someone to come and take these down for me. I'd do it myself, but I'm currently recovering from a back injury after slipping on something wet in my living room this morning.
Please hold.
That sounds to me like snow golems. I'm also just gonna have a look at the clutch. But no, that's not really... That doesn't really sound like that. But you know me. You know me from the other parts. I obsess over these things. I pore over every possibility. It served me well last time. And often the exact words are what you need to do. There's not as much of a leap as you might think. In this case, strange snow formations outside the home and wet floors, so I'm confident in that. Sooner or later, somebody's gonna have bed teeth again. Cheer levels are still good. I really, really hope that lady had mice. Unless it doesn't go down until the distress calls come in. Waiting for the return call jump scare. Hello?
I've seen him. I've seen him. I know you people know about things like this. I know what you really do. I have photos. We can get these out in front of the public. The people need to know. Please, help me get this out to the world before it's too late. I know he's been tracking me.
Please hold.
You know, I actually think I do know what you're dealing with. It sounds to me like maybe a forgotten Bogart. And if so, getting that information out into the world would be the worst thing possible, right? I can't think of anything else that makes sense, and this was the first thing I thought of. But you guys weren't kidding when you told me that this was gonna be a harder DLC than the base game. Because some of these are really not giving us a lot. Let's say it. Forgotten Bogart. We need to tell you absolutely not to deal with this. At least not in the way you want. Just forget you ever saw it, okay? It really found a friend in the conspiracy theorist in the woods. Quick call.
Please help. Can't move. Too weak.
Please hold.
I think you're having dreams of sugar plums. Once more, it's another vague one. But you want more of something, you're obsessed with more of something, but you're growing weak. Anything ranging from diabetes to starvation and malnourishment. It can be other things, but there's also the fact that it'll always favor new entries. So I'm just gonna say sugar wisps. Your symptoms are unspecific, but if I immediately thought of it, it's probably right? There we are.
Yeah. So, there's strange noises coming from our basement. I don't know what's down there, but I can hear it scurrying around and making little scratching noises at night. I don't dare go down myself, but my wife said she found little round pellets or something down there.
Please hold.
Okay. Little round pellets. I'm really not sure on this one. Dwarves hang out down there. And little round pellets, I suppose, could be rubble, but that doesn't... I don't know, pellets are more of a specific term. Small, round droppings, that's what mice are. And other than that, there's not really much to it. I mean, you don't dare go down there yourself. Go find out. Scurrying has historically always referred to mice. Scratching sometimes, although it doesn't say that here. It's just the small round droppings. Little round pellets. And I have noticed that the list is actually brought down a bit. It doesn't feature everything that was in the base game. And nothing else makes any reference to it except for maybe dwarves, and I feel like there'd be more detail for dwarves. I'm just gonna say mice twice. I feel like this is a trick question. It's meant to make it like, okay, well you probably guessed mice for the other one, but it couldn't be that this time, even though it's just all it sounds like. But I'm really not sure about this. It's gonna turn out to be something stupid. Hey, 100%! Our legacy continues. Hey, that means we were also right about the wild man. But I was actually pretty confident in that one, so I'm not even worried about it. Anyway, every day we keep that cheer high helps us out going into the next, right? No videos being left on our desktop this time. But Rodney's got a jump scare for me. Check this out. Did you see this yet? Everyone keeps forwarding this to me. I can't tell if they're taking it seriously or not, but either way, it's hilarious. And I thought you'd get a kick out of it. Forward, important. Send this to 5 friends immediately. Better not be about the forgotten Bogart. Stop. On this day, December 23rd, 25-year-old Alice Prairie fell into a lake and drowned while ice skating. If you don't forward this to 5 other people by tonight, you will drown in the next lake you visit. So will something supernatural force me into it if I'm there, or does it only apply if I decide to stand on it or something? Why am I asking for consistency from a chain letter? A new report on the phenomenon. Phenomena sighted in Manitoba at approximately 1200 hours. Estimated proximity is around 100,000 miles, or 161... would that be... Yeah, 161,000 kilometers from Earth. Current risk, moderate. I don't know, maybe it'll be less forgiving the closer it is. I said open. That was a double click. Only 2 days until Christmas, treated as an impending apocalypse. It's always the more mundane things. I dread those because I'm constantly comparing them with supernatural entities that they sort of could sound like. and at the same time, they offer the least to actually go on.
Greetings, Rebecca. It is Carol again. There have been reports of some new activity, so we have gone ahead and made some new information available to thee. I pray things are going well thus far. Thou knowest as well as I what is at stake. I do hope to see thee soon, Rebecca.
New entries available. Only a handful. We've read most of what there is. Yule Cat! There's Yule Cats! I want a Yule Cat. We still got the office cat. Little beeper. Frost Wisps. Which we can start learning about as soon as somebody calls, so I can put them on hold. Oh man, somewhere I lost my way.
I need someone to come fix our windows. I fear there's a terrible draft coming in, and I wouldn't want anyone at my second family gathering to catch a cold. I'm hosting at least 20 additional family members, and I need this place locked tight for their sakes. I've already caught something dreadful during our last hosted function, and I don't intend for it to happen again.
Sounds like you got elves. I don't remember if there was anything about windows or any of that, but, well, you've got additional family members, potentially a whole group of them, and you said you caught something during the last function. Weakened immune system? Anyway, frost wisps. Frost wisps are a subspecies of wisp that commonly take on the appearance of semi-transparent, crystallized orbs. Homeowners suffering from frost wisps often report shivering sensations, a chill in the air in otherwise warm places, and sudden, lingering thoughts of their own mortality. Frost wisps are harmless to most mammals and humans in their vicinity, as long as they keep their distance, but direct contact with a frost wisp can cause hazardous effects such as frostbite. That's really interesting. So it can sound, in this context, like some horrible ability that it has, but really it's just cold. Frost wisps will remain in a home so long as homeowners continue to linger on dreadful thoughts such as mortality or the prospect of decomposition. Homeowners are advised to distract themselves with any manner of cheerful activity, food, or friendly company to keep such thoughts at bay. For more persistent frost wisp infestations, it is advised to utilize our pest control services. Hans. Oh, jeez. This creator has almost a Trevor Henderson-esque talent for the photos they create. Actually, didn't I read that they actually worked with Trevor Henderson on this one? Yet, look at this. 28 new horrifying entries to discover, featuring the art of Trevor Henderson, Eduardo Valdez-Sevilla, Llewellyn Elwood, and Omega Black. That is so cool. And there's even, like, guest voices and such. Hans is a human-shaped husk of cloth, rags, and straw known for sneaking into the homes and domains of the affluent, wealthy, and fortunate. Homes occupied by Hans commonly suffer symptoms such as the appearance of strange markings, the faint sounds of rustling, or occupants suddenly behaving abnormally. While Hans does not directly harm those he crosses paths with, Hans can negatively impact the lives of homeowners should he complete the process of occupation. Occupied human adults may commit acts they do not condone, including more hazardous behaviors such as murder, debauchery, and arson. Homeowners should swiftly evacuate any home suspected of Hans' occupation. Should a family member or loved one be successfully occupied by Hans, it is advised to call the pest control services immediately. Some of these are things out on the world, just species that we don't know about, but sometimes it's an individual. It's a story of a scarecrow or doll that comes into people's lives and subtly drives them to murder. It's a horror story in a few paragraphs, and we can only imagine what it looks like in practice. That's the appeal of this. Lucy. Lucy is a semi-solid humanoid creature vaguely resembling a pale human woman, known for slipping inside homes during hailstorms. Homeowners often report a slimy, semi-transparent substance near openings such as doors, windows, air ducts, and chimneys. Lucy can be quite hazardous to any humans or pets that cross its path, as Lucy is known to steal the warmth of warm-blooded mammals, often leaving behind their crumbled, frozen remains. It is highly advised to quietly hide all warm-blooded inhabitants of a home if Lucy is suspected to be present, and wait patiently for it to pass through on its own. Its breathing sounds like the whistling of wind through a crack. The mare. PETA, the mare is here. The mare is a skeletal, horse-like humanoid draped in a variety of tinsels and fabrics. It is known for its distinct, song-like screeching, and its tendency to approach the entrances of homes after dark. Homeowners often report the sounds of wailing, screeching, or singing. The mare poses little to no danger to humans or animals, but has been known to consume large amounts of a home's food and beverages if invited inside. The mare cannot be disrupted while feasting. The mare poses no direct threat to homeowners, and can either be invited in to let it feast until it is contented, at which point it will leave on its own, or it can be safely ignored, if homeowners are willing to bear with the noises it creates for a few hours. The use of earplugs or soundproof materials can assist homeowners who do not wish to invite the mare into their home. It's like a dark old holiday tradition. In Voices of the Void, it was alcohol that assuaged it. Ogress. Wow. Ogresses are large, 8 to 10 foot cave-dwelling creatures, typically only active at high elevations during the winter. That may cause some issues identifying them in reference with warlocks. Homeowners typically do not experience an ogress directly, but rather report other consequences of its presence, such as Yule men or Yule cats. They have henchmen. In some rare instances, an ogress will see fit to visit a home if they fail to acquire their targets through other means. Due to their size, their subsequent entrance into a home can prove catastrophic to a home's roofing, foundation, and its inhabitants. To prevent an ogress from entering one's home, it is highly advised to avoid escalating their activities by allowing Yule men's access to a home. Homeowners that wish to avoid attention of an ogress in the first place can reinforce and advise benevolent behavior in their children. They're literally a creature that comes down from the snowy mountains because the kids were being bad. It's a lot worse than coal under the tree. I think in order to have a complete picture of what an ogress is, we're gonna have to read the lower entries. Winter fur. Winter fur is a highly contagious seasonal virus known to cause the rapid growth of white hair-like follicles across an infected individual's face, body, and eyes. It's the Santa beard disease. How do I get it? Full coverage is expected to occur within the first 48 hours after infection. It is most commonly found in mammals, and is contracted through direct contact with the infected. Can it be comorbid with red nose? Subsequent blindness caused by winter fur can create more hazardous conditions, and reduce quality of life for those infected. Winter fur is also known to attract other dangerous pests, such as any variety of ticks or fleas. Once winter fur has completed its growth, it can be mitigated using any variety of traditional shaving equipment, such as razors, to reduce the chance of attracting ticks or fleas. The infected individual should be quarantined from other parties indefinitely to avoid spreading the virus further. Imagine having to go into exile because of your big burly Santa beard. Truly a ridiculous world we built here. Yule cat, hi, kitty! Oh, you're huge, kitty! But you're a little beeper. Aww. Yule cats are large, feline-like creatures known for prowling populated, high-elevation areas during the winter. They feed primarily on various textiles and fabrics. Homeowners experiencing Yule cats often report sounds of hissing, growling, large paw prints in the snow, and missing clothes or neighbors. Yule cats' diet of fabrics can prove quite hazardous to clothed homeowners if caught in their path, and due to their size and speed, Most human adults and children will not survive these sorts of encounters. Yule Cat's strength also allows them to easily break into homes in search of food if sufficiently hungry, damaging doors and windows in the process. If Yule Cat is suspected to be active in the area, homeowners should take quick action to leave out a variety of fabrics and textiles within a safe distance outside of the home. It is advised to deliver these fabrics completely unclothed. Aw, Shmeepo's hangry. Yule Goat. Yule goats are goat-shaped apparitions that can sometimes occur in a home during the winter. Homeowners experiencing Yule goats often report strange coincidences, citing shapes of goats throughout their house and imagine sounds of bleeding. Yule goats are not directly harmful to humans or animals, but their prolonged presence can often cause paranoia or sleep deprivation in affected homeowners, which can sometimes lead to careless household accidents such as fires. As soon as a Yule goat is suspected to be present in a household, a humble offering of wheat or straw can be made in appeasement. For more persistent infestations, it is advised to use our pest control services. Now, Yule Men. Yule Men are a subspecies of gnome that appear as small, hairy humanoids with pointed craniums that are most often seen traveling in packs of 13 or more. Homeowners infested with Yule Men often report broken windows, stolen food, sounds of clattering or giggling, and more rarely, missing pets or children. Yule Men are harmless to human adults, but can be a safety hazard for household pets that are small enough to eat, and human children who have attracted the attention of an ogress. Yule Men will typically leave a home on their own once satisfied with their taking. To prevent Yule Men from entering one's home, homeowners may board up windows and close off sufficiently large openings such as chimneys, but in most circumstances, this is highly inadvisable. Even the encyclopedia is not providing sufficient information anymore. They're little thieves. I think your issue with the windows might be a red herring. You're focusing a lot on family and the fact that you've gotten sick. Whatever these elves are, they haven't made themselves known for the first time. They were at the last gathering as well. So, I'm confident in the elves' answer. Really, it's a game about reading emphasis. Shear levels are nominal. Repeat, shear levels remain nominal. I don't know how much it'll go down if we get something wrong, or if it'll go up if we get something right again, but I'm thinking we can potentially wait out the clock so that if the last few are too difficult, we still have enough to use in reserve.
Oh, God, I'm dead. I'm dead and I'm only 33. Please say I can change this. Please say I can change it!
Please hold.
One moment, please. Okay, so that sounds like a pretty typical frost wisp. Blah, blah, blah. Lingering thoughts of their own mortality. I'm just wondering if there's anything else it could be. Could be bats. Certainly could be. Probably bed teeth. But then again, the please say I can change it. Something that you would say if you could, right? Like, it sounds like you're begging the spirit that's taking you there. Like a miracle on 34th Street. Are these the specters of things that will be, or the things that may be? Hang on, are you getting Scrooged tonight? It sounds so much like the other thing. But these are ridiculous. Some of these, it really comes down to a guess. But the begging for change is what puts it over for me. Okay, we're about to find out what happens when we're wrong. or something.
There's some kind of dying animal in our yard. Can you send someone out to put it out of its misery? It's been screaming like hell for the past hour, and I'm far too squeamish to go look at it or touch it myself. My son is only 10 years old, and he's very worried about the poor thing, so please hurry.
Please hold.
Well, keep him away from the door unless you want to do all your shopping for Christmas dinner again. That sounds like the mayor. Definitely. You haven't even looked. So far, so good, I think. But I just keep thinking about the fact that a lot of the failure messages didn't come until the next day. We didn't have a cheer levels bar, or any sort of bar.
Ugh, I think Betty's cat is on the prowl. I need someone to come put that beast down. First, Betty doesn't show up to the PTA meeting this week, and now it seems her cat is on the loose again, leaving its disgusting feastfuls of feathers behind on neighbors' porches.
Okay, so that's clearly supposed to be a misdirect to the Yule Cats, but the feathers tell it all. We've got false carolers. Not only is this the last thing you see when you open your door, but the rest of the town has no idea what happened to you, leaving the place ripe for the next victim. Let's go, false carolers. I found myself just kind of staring into that thing's eyes, waiting for the next call. I did that to myself.
I think there's some kind of mold problem in our house. I keep finding this nasty, kind of thick slime residue near the air vent, and I think it's scaring the pets. Our poor cat hasn't wanted to come back inside yet, so I need this fixed as soon as possible.
Please hold.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask Lucy about that. Near openings such as doors, windows, air ducts, and chimneys. Definitely hazardous to pets. Yeah, I'm confident in the Lucy answer. I don't see what else it could be. Though again, I am biasing significantly towards new ones, which is maybe not a good habit to be forming. It's working out so far, but could be quite dangerous. Cheer levels remain nominal. I'm not sure how many more callers are left, but at this rate, it may become impossible to lose. I think it was like 3 in a day last time or something.
Oh my god, I think there's an avalanche outside! Our home is right below the mountain! Please send someone over before it's too late!
Sounds like it is too late. Avalanches. Avalanches are large quantities of rapidly moving snow occurring in steep-sloped environments such as mountains or hills. Yes, sir, I know. Please hold. Homeowners experiencing an avalanche often report shaking, thunderous sounds coming from above, or sudden burials. Wow. Yes, I've been suddenly buried? What's that about? Avalanches are highly dangerous to most mammals or humans caught in their wake as they're... Why am I even reading this? It's a freaking avalanche. That certainly does sound very avalanche-like. What a way to spend your final moments. Calling me. Well, you definitely died in an avalanche. I don't really know what's to be lost by being wrong about this. The only other thing it could be is one of those warlocks, a mountain warlock. But I didn't hear anything in that clip, and I've listened to it a few times now to indicate that it would be you. And either way, an avalanche is an avalanche, so I think this is a mundane answer that actually killed you. This is just one of those cases where there's no reason to suspect the warlock. Still could be.
The doctors told me to call here. I think I caught some kind of dog disease. My neighbor's freak dog sneezed on me or something, and now it's growing on me. I can feel it underneath my skin, this horrid little bump forming. It's hurting very badly. Please, can you tell me what to do?
Please hold.
Yeah, quarantine until it explodes painfully. Sounds like Red Nose. No, seriously, this is incredibly, incredibly funny. And I'm gonna tell all your friends so they can laugh at you. There's no HIPAA here in the Fey world. Red Nose. Wow, that was a quick call.
Someone is coming into my home. Your security cameras broke on me, so I can't see who it is. I can hear their shoes squeaking or something in the footage when they came in to steal my Santa outfit. Do you have some kind of policy compensating your customers for selling them faulty equipment?
Nothing jumps to mind. Came in to steal your Santa outfit. I mean, these things will eat fabrics. But that's very flimsy. There's the possibility, I guess, of Yulemen. I mean, they are little thieves. There's nothing to do with all the cameras failing, though. Trolls steal clothes, remember? A Santa outfit is very, it's very warm. But the squeaking, I mean, they do make a deflating sound. That doesn't sound like shoes squeaking. That's the problem I have with this one. The only thing that steals clothes are that and the Yule cats, and this doesn't sound like a Yule cat. It's really all I've got. They are also, you know, this is kind of cool though, they are winter creatures. They're just from the base game. It may be a kitty, but it does not squeak. It's either the Yule cat, the Yule men, or the troll. I don't know, it just seems to be a thing. It just seems to be a thing that cameras that we give people just don't work. But that's a massive red herring if that's the case. I'm gonna go with troll just because it directly steals clothes. But specifically the Santa suit? I don't know. This is one that I don't know about. It was. I've been getting lucky and probably helping myself by obsessing over these things. I cut so much from these videos. But I gotta be honest, some of these, there really isn't enough information. Rodney says, heads up. I don't know if you've heard already, but the pest control department has been panicking and sending out vans all morning. I think something big might be going down. I know you have a lot on your plate already, so I figured I'd give you a heads up. Also, happy Christmas Eve. I hope you've been good this year. Well, it happened so far. Phenomenon is sighted across North Dakota at approximately 0200 hours. Estimated proximity is around 50,000 miles. Within active feeding range. Current risk profile, moderate to high. Shear levels should be closely monitored. This seems like the end of the world, and yet this is just something you have to deal with every year. It's like the annual performance reviews. Oh man, this mechanic is actually adding a fair bit of stress to all this, isn't it? Like, I suppose it doesn't really work too differently from the way the base game did, but I don't know, by having that bar there, by knowing specifically what's coming and having it affect more than just our own life, it makes this feel so much more like we are the most downplayed Men in Black in history. And I love it. Just got to get through one more day. $60 to 90 minutes, it says on the store page. No chance.
Hudson here, HSH Pest Control. Listen up. The Mouse King is loose, and it's our understanding he means to stir up trouble of the Yuletide variety. My boys are working around the clock to find him and stop him in his tracks before things get too hairy, but sometimes things slip through the cracks. Little things, if you get my meaning. If you hear anything strange, let us know as soon as you can. There's new data coming your way. Read it carefully. Keep those eyes peeled. Hudson out.
You are so cool, and I want a game from your perspective. I love how that's just like something we gotta deal with. Like, yeah, friggin' Mouse King again. Belsnickel. Belsnickel is a human-shaped, pine-based light form that— Shut up! I don't care! It's Christmas Eve. What do you have to worry about?
We need someone to come check our house for damage. I think I felt an earthquake last night. And this morning, I noticed those godless Hendersons across the street crying about something with the police. So I'm fairly sure whatever happened must have been enough to damage our property.
Okay, there's a few things that could be.
Please
But Belsnickel, man. Belsnickel is a human-shaped, pine-based life form that is known to visit on winter nights adorned in animal furs and a wooden mask bearing a friendly visage. Homeowners experiencing a Belsnickel often report break-ins, finding berries, sap, pine needles, or scratch marks on the floor, or dead pets. Belsnickels do not pose any mortal harm to humans, but they are known to occasionally lash out at those they perceive as wrongdoers. Their presence can be highly hazardous to any furry mammals or pets in the house, should they require more pelts. The berries they occasionally leave behind are both safe to eat and delicious. Belsnickels will usually pass through a home and move on to others by the end of a single night. Multiple visits to a single home are rare, but more persistent visitations may be a sign of troublesome moral activities occurring inside the home. I'm really thinking a lot about what this guy said. I'm not sure how to approach that. The Gift Hag. The Gift Hag is a humanoid creature somewhat resembling an elderly woman with a smiling face covered in soot or soil. It is known to quietly slip into homes during the winter, and often leaves behind trinkets such as makeshift dolls, wooden idols, or sharp twigs and rocks. The Gift Hag and its gifts are mostly harmless to humans, though careless play with sharp rocks and twigs can often result in human children injuring themselves. If homeowners wish to keep the Gift Hag from entering their home during the winter, they may choose to close off access to the home's chimney. This is the closest thing our world's got to Santa. Well, those affected with winter fur. That dragging sound. The hunt. The hunt is a storm-like fungal weather pattern. I'm sorry, wait, that is a wild combination of words. The hunt is a storm-like fungal weather phenomenon that carries with it large quantities of infectious, snow-like spores. Homeowners caught in the hunt commonly report thunder, blizzards, electrical outages, and violent or erratic behavior from neighbors. The hunt's powerful winds can often cause trees to break or fall, which can lead to dangers such as property damage, electrical outages, or fires. The hunt's spores, if ingested, can also cause unpredictable and hazardous symptoms in humans, such as color blindness, physical deformations, and cannibalistic desires. If the hunt is expected to pass through one's neighborhood, homeowners can take measures to keep safe by quarantining themselves within a basement, cellar, or other underground shelter until the storm and ensuing panic passes. It is advised to keep an emergency supply of food, medicine, and water stocked for such an occasion. The locomotive. The friggin' Polar Express is an SCP. The locomotive is a large, segmented, train-like organism that can only be seen by animals and human children. It is known only to appear after nightfall after the 21st of December. Homeowners affected by the locomotive often report the floor rumbling at night, distant whistling, snow falling in strange patterns, or missing children. Could this be your problem? The locomotive is harmless to human adults, but can prove particularly harmful or even fatal to human children if they choose to enter its domain. Children bearing sufficient faith are known to return the following morning, however. There is no known solution for removing the locomotive from an occupied area while it is stopped. However, the locomotive only remains in one location for a few minutes at a time to attract its prey, before it will move on to other territory on its own. To prevent harm, children and pets should be supervised or kept indoors. So many of these are horrifying reimaginings of classic traditions. The Godless Hendersons. Maybe it was boarded by a kid who didn't believe in Santa? Which is hilarious, because Santa doesn't seem to be real in this universe, but whatever. Seems kind of unfair. It says it's prey, but there seems to be an aspect of moral judgment to this. Anyway, who's this Mouse King I've been hearing about? It just looks like a regular mouse. The Mouse King is a prominent member of a traitorous clan of mice, known for recruiting and leading them in nefarious activities such as riots, heists, and assassinations. Homeowners with the Mouse King often report sounds of squeaking, scratching, and seeing strange mice behaviors such as mass coordination or attempts at communication. The Mouse King poses an incredible threat to all living things, and its destruction should be immediately prioritized. I mean, that's bad, but it's not the worst thing on this list at all. The Mouse King should be stopped at all costs, by any means necessary. Homeowners are highly encouraged to use lethal removal methods including but not limited to mouse traps, toxic sprays, sharp implements, or any licensed firearms. If homeowners will not oblige, they are advised to utilize our pest control services. This is so friggin' funny. It's not even like some tall clothed thing like in the plays. No. It is just a picture of a little mouse with a full report saying, if you see this thing, blast its friggin' dome off. It's just a mouse. Perchta. Oh my... Look at you slithering your way up the stairs on broken knees, pushing past the peeling paint on the walls. Perchta is a large humanoid creature vaguely resembling an elderly human woman with a beak-like nose and long, sheet-like skin. Perchta is known for entering homes full of refuse, chaos, and filth. Homeowners experiencing Perchta often report break-ins, nightly sounds of clattering, and shed skin on the floors. Perchta is incredibly dangerous to homeowners inhabiting its chosen domains, as it will often utilize nearby humans as makeshift scarecrows to keep other pests at bay. Most human adults do not usually survive this process. Perchta cannot be easily or safely removed from a home it is claimed, so it is advised for homeowners to immediately evacuate the premises if Perchta is suspected to be present. Homeowners are advised to prevent Perchta from being attracted to their homes in the first place, by keeping their homes clean and free of filth. I love how so many of these work like old fairy tales, the stories parents tell children in order to encourage good habits. Imagine hearing that downstairs in the dead of night. Look, man, it was all about having faith, and I'm going to have faith as a new introduction, and actually surprisingly describing your situation. I think the locomotive is your thing. We haven't had any complaints yet.
I have been robbed. Someone broke into my house and completely cleaned out the fridge and cabinets last night. There's wine all over my floors, discarded milk jugs. It's absolutely disgusting. I demand a refund for this useless home security package you people sold me. It's only good for hearing thieves cackle after the fact.
Yeah, our cameras suck, but that definitely sounds like Yuleman have visited you. Which,
Please hold.
could appreciate the Christmas cheer. I'm trying to spread it as much as possible. Oh wait, there's a bunch more. I didn't even realize there were more. Okay, yeah. Clattering or giggling. Stolen food, broken windows, all that stuff. I'm confident in that answer, but we've got a few more to read, including... He is real. Oh my god! There is an actual Santa exists alongside the Christmas hag, or whatever she's called. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that about Mrs. Claus, but look at you. Riding a pale horse, standing up and pointing directly at me. And I just noticed your horns. The saint is a warlock, sometimes resembling a bearded, elderly human male adorned in thick robes, often seen riding a pale, horse-like creature. And he that sat on him was Death. The saint is known for traveling through snowstorms at night, leaving strange artifacts on the doorsteps of homeowners. Often the saint's arrival is followed by the sinner shortly afterward. The acceptance of the artifacts granted by the saint by bringing them within one's home can often result in the gift receiver experiencing great fortune and luck for a span of 30 years. After the 30-year period, the saint will return to collect their due. It is not advised to accept these gifts. Now, this is something I find really scary, because it certainly fits with our job here. Delayed horror. Something that seems like such a good thing at first, but you don't find out until long after you stop thinking about it that you've sealed your doom. While the saint cannot be prevented from delivering their gifts, homeowners can simply remove the gifts from their doorstep and burn them outdoors to prevent accidental acceptance. It is, however, highly advised to wait until the morning after the following day to remove these gifts. So he doesn't see what you've done? There have been silly Santa-themed horror movies before, but this is actually chilling, no pun intended. That groaning that could be interpreted as a ho-ho-ho, and the jingling of those bells as you walk. But of course, for every saint, there must be a sinner. Oh, look at you. The sinner is a large, bipedal, goat-like creature known for breaking into homes and devouring human children, usually arriving after a snowstorm has passed. Homeowners often report the sound of chains or hooves, broken doors or windows, and missing children. The sinner is highly dangerous to human children that cross its path, as it is known to ravenously attempt to devour them on sight. Human adults that are too large to eat are not usually at risk, unless they attempt to come between the sinner and its feast. And who wouldn't? The sinner will not enter the homes of those with a gift from the saint at their doorstep. As such, it is highly advised not to remove these gifts on the night of a snowstorm. The sinner will continue to move from home to home once it is successfully fed. We're creating new legends here. Or finding out that the ones we celebrate are only telephoned from something much older and darker. It's cool. So many of these can be a bit on the silly side, but it's always done in a way where it never takes away from the horror of the others. And when it's horrifying, it is truly horrifying. Whites. Look at them, this melted, misshapen figure just standing there staring. They are coming. It takes a while. It takes like 7 or 8 seasons, but they are coming. Whites are misshapen former humans that have been exposed to the effects of the hunt, coming in a variety of unfortunate bodily configurations. Whites are known for their wild and unpredictable violent behavior. Homeowners experiencing whites often report sounds of gurgling, coughing, or hacking. Whites are highly dangerous and will attempt to bite or otherwise harm most humans and animals on sight. Their relative speed and strength can widely vary, though most direct encounters are fatal. Those who don't survive the storm. And look, the word most here is doing an incredible amount of work. Are there those who they'll ignore? Whites generally have very short lifespans and will often perish on their own, usually within 48 hours from medical disadvantages granted to them by their particular bodily configuration. More persistent whites can be removed from the use of any nearby sharp implements, licensed firearms, or through the pest control services. Okay, I'm pretty confident that you have been visited by Yule men. Last day. We may have averted the apocalypse already. Keyword may. But what I noticed before, and what I meant to talk about, is the fact that there is no static sound when we're not in a call. That ambiance only exists when we're connected, even if we have them on hold.
It's in my cornflakes. It's in the ceiling. It's in my coffee. God, it's in the wallpaper. Oh, please, make it go away. Make this godforsaken demon go away.
Please hold.
First thought is Yule goats. I don't know of anything else infesting food. I mean, there's Fae Feast, but that's their own thing. They don't turn stuff into cornflakes. Can they give you cornflakes? I don't know, who cares? I'm confident that it's the Yule goat. Yep, sightings and shapes all throughout the house. You didn't say what it was. Would have been helpful if you had. Like, seriously, nobody just states their problem. There's being scared, but if you have the foresight and the wherewithal to actually go ahead and call us, you should be able to tell us what the problem is, at least basically. I don't know what it could be besides a Yule goat. You know, I'm realizing we're going to have to come back and see what the game over screen is. Jingle jangle.
Everything is shaking! Please, send help!
Please hold.
Okay, you can be forgiven for not being a little bit more descriptive. Earthquake is not here, though, which is important because I'm pretty sure it was in the base game. Could be Clutch, but you described shaking. Shaking. It kind of just sounds like an avalanche. I've been listening back to it over and over again, trying to hear if I can hear those like moans or screams in the background to indicate a warlock. Often report shaking and sounds coming from above. Yeah. It's like mice. I don't like the idea of reporting it twice. But then again, if we're getting a lot of mouse activity, well, maybe we know the cause. They're coordinating now. And there may actually be something indeed going on with the avalanches. If there is a warlock, if this person is nearby to the other person, even more likely.
Hudson here. Pay attention. I've got word from the boys that the Mouse King was last seen wearing a disguise. I repeat, the Mouse King has gone incognito. Be on the lookout for any conspicuous individuals of a rodent-adjacent variety. Hudson out.
Okay, I'll try to be careful for rodent people. Maybe we need a new entry. What do you want? I was adjusting in my chair.
Hey, I think some kind of wild animal's in my house. Our poor wooden floors are scratched to hell and back, and there's a bunch of sap and needles and stuff littered around the place. Please, could you send somebody over to find this thing and get it the hell out of my place? Hey, sit! Quiet, boy! Sit down, hey!
Please hold.
Belsnickel. Sap, pine needles, or scratch marks on the floor. Well, in order to protect that doggo, we should probably tell you post-haste. Whenever there's like a direct quote from the article in the thing, that's how you know you've got it. See, there's an interesting task here where a lot of these behave in fairly subtle ways, but some of them you would think it's, okay, you look at it and you know it's there. So how do they convey that without it being too obvious? Probably actually pretty challenging to come up with the descriptions.
Please, you have to help me. I think my husband has joined some kind of cult. He's not acting like himself lately, and I found what looked like satanic symbols in the attic, along with what looked like a scarecrow in the center.
I
Please
see you've
hold.
met Hans. And were this a horror movie, I would have said exactly that to you. This one's pretty clear, though. There we are. Really coming in quick these days.
Our house is falling apart. The floorboards are cracking, the doors aren't closing properly, and nothing is draining anymore. Something very strange is happening, and I suspect it has something to do with my neighbor's renovation project. I've been seeing people hauling around giant rocks all week. Who knows if they damaged something on my property?
Huh. Now, first thought, clutch. You say you've been seeing people hauling around these giant rocks, and that's what leads me to believe that it's the clutch over a regular sinking foundation. I just don't understand who they are. The aid of the ones conducting the clutch. Okay, I see. Yep, it's got to be that. It's got to be that. Introduced at first and introduced late, but there we go. I'm too confident in some of these. I should be doing more hunch research. But everything's been okay so far. What do you want?
Someone stole our competition out from under us. I know it's those no-good Derricksons. They've always been jealous of us taking the annual Grand Gingerbread Master Award. Oh, rather than improve their own skills, they decided to break into our home last night and steal our post office. I found poor little postman Peter collapsing pieces on the floor, right next to a big hole with the burned remains of our post office inside. The police won't do anything. Can you come and perform a citizen's arrest?
Well, I'm not quite sure who it could have been, but I have to ask, did they seem mouse-like? And unfortunately, they've already killed Postman
Please
Pat.
hold.
Dude, I don't know. I've really got no idea, and I feel like I'm forgetting something obvious, because that was a lot of info. I'm just going to take this moment to play the audio that I didn't hear before. They just sound sickly and horrid. That actually sounds like an animation. I'm looking through all of these. This is how far back we're going, but it literally says that they may collapse on the floor after they've completed their intended function. And look. If we think about it, it actually could have been those no-good Derricksons utilizing an animation to destroy her project. I'm actually confident in this. Let's say animation. It's always a surprise when we have to go back to the vanilla ones, but hey, if the shoe fits, right? Yes?
I'm not sure who else to call about this, but, something very weird is going on in our neighborhood. Some strange man in a large trench coat and Halloween mask is going around ringing neighbors' doors, carrying some kind of paper or notes. He hasn't come to my house yet, but I'm very afraid of what they might be up to. Pepper, stop scratching the door. He's going to think we're home.
Please hold.
Holding some kind of paper. That could be the saint. Could be either of them. It's the paper note. The paper or note that's messing me up. And that could be the strange artifacts that aren't really described. Could also be the Mouse King recruiting. We heard he was in disguise. A trench coat and a mask? Come on, that's a classic. Actually, wait. Cat yowling. The other things didn't say anything about pets. Well, it said that Belsnickel might try to skin them. But this cat wants whatever's out there. I think we might have spotted the Mouse King. Oh yeah, bigger reward than Bin Laden. Mouse King. Attempts at communication, the notes, right? Oh, you being loose during Christmas time is absolutely serving you. Because there's actually kind of a rogues gallery that I suspected. If this turns out to be wrong, it's at least funny. You know, I just realized something. In the base game, we had our friend in the walls. The one who was afraid of cats, the one who tried to reach out to us via email. Is this maybe one and the same? Either way, it seems the Fae are not friends of mice.
I need you to send out someone to change out our locks. My mother-in-law has finally gone far enough, and I've had it with her. I don't know how, but I think she's managed to get a copy of my key to come in and leave these creepy little dolls for my kids at night. I saw that old bag myself on the security camera. It's a bit fuzzy, but I can make out those crony old arms of hers.
Got it. Well, in situations like this, we need to verify these things, so just give me a second. I'll send her a copy of this call and see what she has to say.
Please hold.
No, but it's definitely the gift tag. Gotta be, right? This is one of those times where I'm pretty sure, but I feel like I'm jumping in too fast. Gift tag. Gotta be. Gotta be gift tag. Gotta be gift tag. Gotta be gift tag. Gotta be gift tag. 100. We got him! Ladies and gentlemen, we got him! We got the Mouse King. Mission accomplished. Alright, I think that's the end. Unless we are doing one more day. We're not done. Okay, let's see what's going on. Observatory Daily Twilight Report. Phenomena sighted across all northern territories at approximately 0600 hours. Estimated proximity is around 10,000 miles. Currently feeding. Current risk profile, very high. Increased levels of shear spreading is highly advised. I thought I was doing a pretty good job. And besides, I'm not even in the shear spreading department. I'm just trying to prevent loss of shear. From Rodney. Hey, what are you doing here on Christmas, dog? Unfortunately, we both know why. I'm sorry this always falls on your plate, Becca. Especially with the extra madness going on at Pest Control this year. Today's gonna be a rough one. Here's hoping to see you tomorrow, dude. We'll have you to thank for this past year. We must have pulled some heroics last year. By doing our job, and doing it well. Just like everyone every day. We're still at 100% shear.
Hudson here. We almost had him, but that little royal pain has given us the slip. He was last seen hightailing it towards the head office with his swarm in tow. I repeat, you have a whole gaggle of mice coming your way. My boys are coming in to break the walls down. We're gonna seize the king no matter what. Tell your buddies up at IT they're gonna have plenty of work ahead of them tomorrow. That's how it has to be. Hudson out.
Well, okay. Maybe I'm really not safe in this office. Permissions updated. Is there something new? Maybe that's just something that's automatically given to start the day. Either way, I should have known there'd be one last hurrah, considering I know that, you know, how days work. And I would be very surprised if I wasn't working on Christmas.
Greetings, Rebecca. I'm certain that you've seen the skies today. The light's gaze has fallen upon us. I'm calling to wish you and the rest of the caller response team the best of fortunes. I know I need not remind thee that this day is one of great import, and is to be treated with the utmost gravity. Spread much merriment, and cheer to all you can, and I hope to see you all on the morrow.
I hope to see you too. And the Mouse Gang finally brought before a court.
Some Christmas-hating hooligan has broken into our house.
It's the Grinch!
I heard them fiddling around last night with God knows what and came downstairs to find they disappeared. They even drank all the milk we left out for Santa. Thankfully, my kids are none the wiser.
I mean, that... To me, that sounds like Yuleman.
Please hold.
Sounds like Yuleman? Could be other things, so let's search. But wait, didn't... It was either these or the basement or pipe ones. Didn't somebody like milk? Hobbs do like milk. They drank the milk, you heard them fiddling, but you're not talking about any kind of damage, which they don't leave. In fact, they clean things. It's specifically talking about the milk, though. I think it's a common hob. Because, like, it's meant to trip you up, because the Yulemen did take milk, but that's not all they take, and that's not all they do. I think it's specifically named that in the earlier thing to trick us. What you got?
Is it normal for a northern lights to show up in broad daylight for us folks in Texas? The sky's been looking real strange all day. Could a power plant be leaking nearby or something? Looks like the sky went all radioactive, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do
Please
know what you
hold.
mean. Don't worry about that. That's a simple case of... What were we calling it again? Simple case of the Twilight, and wouldn't this be something that is just, like, known about by all? Can't really hide it. But it's the Twilight. Every once in a while, it just throws softballs. Let's hope it continues this way. Remember, if this is the last day, all we have to do is run out the clock. We just have to not let our cheer levels reach 0. I'm under the assumption that we can fail 3, but then again... Hang on, that's a glitched phone call.
They tried taking my baby! I boarded everything up, but I think I made them mad. I hear something coming. Something coming from the mountains. Listen to this. You have to help me!
That sounds like
hold.
maybe an ogress. And your kids may have been bad. Oh, we're doing this again. I had forgotten. Strange to see this come back now, but that's... they're testing our knowledge big time. What if you haven't read something yet? I hope that's accurate. I can't even read here if there's anything the team can do about it. Either way, you're living through a Christmas nightmare right now. See, when you hear those panicked calls, it injects some reality to these things right out of a storybook. Come on, somebody call me. Make my day.
There's a nudist in our neighborhood.
Sweet.
I contacted the authorities about this pervert crisis, but they told me to call you instead. Last night, I saw my neighbor darting through the neighborhood completely in the nude. The pervert looked like he was terrified of being caught, as he's right to be. I need you to send someone over to arrest this nuisance right now.
Okay, well,
Please
he
hold.
doesn't need to be arrested. He's right to be afraid. And I'm thinking you and everybody else in the neighborhood should join him because you have a Yule Cat on the prowl. And I'm guessing he's a caller of our hotline if he knew what to do. Oh, and look at that. We have our stuff available again. Yeah. Yule Cat. Something we gotta deal with sometimes. It doesn't sound like he needs help. He's just already doing what we would tell him. Like, why do we need to answer you? I wonder if there's any, like, interdepartmental communication going on here. We're gonna have that problem again.
Oh, thank God you answered. I don't know how long we have before the power goes out again, but please, you have to send somebody out here. I'm at 451 Grover Lane. The storm is bad. It's really, really bad. And my mom got caught in a storm on her walk, and now she's in pain. I didn't know who else to call. What do I do?
Just
Please
keep doing what you're
hold.
doing, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's, I think you're dealing with the hunt. And this is a very terrifying Christmas for a lot of people, and I don't think anything we can do is gonna raise your cheer levels. There we go. Still holding at 100%. And on the last day, I don't think we would only find out at the end that we let it drop too much, right? Oh, come on, man. Give me something. We've got to be near the end.
We need help. I think we're caught in an avalanche. I don't know what to do. Everything is shaking.
You weren't taken away, and you know what? I distinctly heard something in the background.
Please hold.
Not a drill. This is what I've been waiting for.
We need help. I think we're caught in an avalanche. I don't know what to do. Everything is shaking.
Absolutely terrifying. Yeah, I think you got mountain warlocks. Question now is, what are you doing up in the mountains, jerk? I don't know why I was so hostile about that. I don't know why I said you are in the mountains in an accusatory tone. I don't know, maybe it's just because I know things others don't. What have we got?
Hey, yeah, there's something real strange happening outside our house. The sky looks all green, and I have a bad feeling about it. A real bad feeling.
Yeah, we've been getting calls like this all day. It's the Twilight. Thankfully, nothing really except for the hunt and Twilight refer to weather. So, yeah, it's gonna be Twilight. I imagine we would mostly be dealing with calls about this today. I don't know why they think any kind of home safety hotline can help with this. You just have to wait, although I suppose you guys are acting as good spoilers. You're making it so that as long as I keep answering you in a satisfactory fashion, it won't kill you. This might be the most helpful I've been.
Spy on my son Richie and I. Just the other night, while it was raging outside, some prankster with a death wish came to our door and just absolutely hammered on it and left before I could answer. This kid left some kind of weird-looking orb on our porch, so I punted it into the trash. Probably some kind of spy camera to case the joint with.
Huh. Now that sounds like the Saint, but since you put it away right away, or actually it doesn't say when you put it away. I was going to say if you did it immediately, you may be getting a follow-up from the Sinner. Weird thing is, this is the first time we've actually had a description of his gifts. It just says strange artifacts. Well, I had played Amnesia. Maybe this is where they come from. Was Alexander Brennenberg a good boy that year? Just waiting for the next. Each of these days seems to be a bit more packed than in the base game. And we're still going.
Some kind of insane drunk man is in our neighborhood, limping around and trying to bite people. Please send help over. The children can't go outside anymore with this lunatic lurching around and chasing the neighbors while wearing this stupid little reindeer headpiece.
Reindeer headpiece? I was thinking it would be one of those victims of the hunt. Reindeer headpiece, unless...
Please hold.
Unless... Could be antler growth. Yeah, it's the reindeer headpiece that sells it. I don't remember if they bite, but I do remember they attack people. They're basically zombies. So I'm gonna say that. Feels like kind of a marathon today, but it's appropriate. And as these Christmas-themed horrors approach, obviously it reaches a fever pitch on the day. No more glitch?
Hello? Are the lines still open?
All day.
We spent the night in our bunker during last night's storm, and it sounds like a ghost town out there. It's dead silent, save for the sound of some wandering souls coughing their lungs out. Did the commies drop a deuce on us? Please confirm. Over and out.
You are a hilarious character in your own right,
Please
but
hold.
no, it wasn't communists, it was whites. Okay, I don't need to add anything to that. Whites. There we go. Oh, let's look at the antler growths. They do bite, right? Clawing, grabbing, or biting. Yeah, see, those glitches are why doing your research early on definitely pays off. I just forgotten why it pays off. Oh, don't scare me like that. It's Christmas.
What's happened to my husband? I came home from a trip and... Oh, God! It's horrible! The police won't do anything. Please, send someone. What kind of sick person would do something like this? There's so much blood. And straw. So much straw.
Excuse me, what? Please, could you give a little bit of detail? Like, the straw is gonna be the tell. But the police won't do anything?
Please hold.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into my bag of tricks for this one. Blood and straw. Was that an aspect of Perchta? Could be Hans. Could actually be Hans. If they won't do anything, it could mean that they haven't actually done anything. Like any crime. Wait. Didn't it say... Wait, for Perchta... Well, we can't look. We can listen to the audio sample still, actually, but didn't it say that she turns people into human scarecrows? We've already done Hans. We have not done Perchta. And Hans doesn't kill people directly. He only influences them. I can't think of anything else that would be straw-related. Let's go with Perchta. This is a difficult one for the network error. Otherwise, I don't think it would be much of a problem. Alright, not sure about that. But between that and Hans, this sounds much more likely, if I'm remembering that right. I really like how this DLC has taken it to the level of, like, actually simulating a busy period. And it actually hypes up our character more as a result.
The lights. They're so beautiful, yet I feel so empty. So empty.
Weird, terrible sounds out there. Are you talking about the Twilight?
Please hold.
So, if you are referring to the Twilight, and we've answered several questions about it tonight, it doesn't say anything about feelings of emptiness, but I don't know, could just be you? We might actually end up becoming the smiling friends at this agency, because if I can spread you some cheer, it'll leave you alone. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Frost wisps, no lights. Lamp sprites, the exact opposite. Screw it, I'm just gonna go Twilight. It's obviously the threat of the day. We still haven't caught the Rat King, the Mouse King. I spent a while on that one. It doesn't say anything about feelings of emptiness. It doesn't actually say that it does anything, just that we have to be sufficiently cheerful on Christmas.
My Greta! She's gone! The police won't do anything, please! You have to help me find Greta! Last night someone broke into the house and took my baby! By the time I got to her, it was too late! I saw them jump out the window! I think they might have been an escaped prisoner or something! They were carrying chains!
Please hold.
I'm thinking about the sinner. Yeah. Oh, man. That is horrible. But I don't know what else it could be. Look at it. Just think, every one of these pictures has a story behind it. Imagine seeing that cross the road in front of you. Its giant hooves.
I think there's something wrong with our heating system. We have all the windows open right now because we're just boiling alive. I've gone to the basement to manually turn off the heater, but somehow it keeps getting turned back on and cranked up way too high.
That sounds like it could be dwarves. No leprechauns. I know that they like to mess with, like, boilers and stuff. That was one of the harder challenges in the last one. Yeah, I'm gonna look around, but for the moment, I'm thinking dwarves. Increased heat in their home. Doesn't say anything about banging, but you did reference the basement. In the absence of anything else that springs to mind, dwarves. I'm really surprised you didn't say anything about rubble clattering, which I thought would have been the big deal. I mean, we know that the snow monsters, they make it colder, but you're the only ones who make it warmer. Oh, it just never stops.
They're getting closer. I can't bear it. I can't bear it. I can feel it. It's coming for us. For all of us.
Please hold.
Listen, lady, the cheer levels are at 100%. I have done a wonderful job, and if this is truly to be the end, it is not my fault, and you can put that on the performance review. The Twilight. There's real extra silence right now. Oh boy, should I have not been that rude over the phone? Oh my god, there's more.
Hudson here. First off, you're welcome. Me and the boys had to make quite a mess to do it, but we finally done it. Yeah, that's right. We got you, Your Majesty. The rest of them scattered to the winds as soon as we captured their not-so-mighty leader. Spread the good news around the office and maybe call the IT department, some carpenters, and a plumber as soon as you can. Pretty sure that pipe is going to burst one way or another anyway. Happy Yuletide, season's greetings. Hudson out.
Merry Christmas to you too. This is a strange place to work. But I love it. And it's not over. We still waiting on a call from Carol? I'm extremely nervous. I am so nervous.
You have worked the miracle once again, Rebecca.
Darn
Thanks
right
to
I have.
You, the Lights Watch has passed over us once again. You are truly a lifesaver.
No.
As a friendly
Read that
reminder,
part.
The office Christmas party begins on the morrow, so we had best see you there. May the Yule shine upon thee and be ever merry, Rebecca.
Merry Yule, everyone. We did it again! There we are. I love this game so much. I love this game so much. I love this game so much, and it's... Hang on, wait, is Marcus the Worm there? It's so cool that, you know, with the resources gained by the first one, with the talent that it attracted, they were able to come together and make something just cool and fun that's in the spirit of the original, while just doing something really zany and out there even by their standards. And it works! Oh, it's a little hub! I get it. Oh, looks like they're having fun. Imagine that's Rebecca and Rodney from IT. But yeah, that was Home Safety Hotline's Seasonal Worker, and it's more of the same, just with a theme, and it's really, really cool. I've noticed that the developer actually has 2 more games coming out, so I'll have to give those a try when they come. But I really respect this for knowing exactly where to ride the line between serious and just sort of weird and fun. I mean, some of these things are really horrific, and it does not skimp on the horror. But when you have this sort of encyclopedia-based horror, it means that you can do things that aren't necessarily a physical threat, which is a limitation that really affects games that don't have that. Actually, the closest thing I can think of to doing that in a more standard game is Control. But we've still got to go through and see what happens when we lose, right? You know, I never commented on it, but something about clicking that big clock in button under that sprite is incredibly satisfying.
Please hold.
Having Christmas tree issues, huh? That can only be bed teeth. I've seen this before. Ooh, I think we either fixed a quirk on our car, or we just dropped 8%. So there's a fair tolerance, but that's probably over the course of all 4 days.
Heed this warning, Rebecca. You know, as well as I, the potential consequences of failure during this time. But perhaps this reminder may serve to further stoke thy fire. Please, for all our sakes, answer future calls with careful consideration of the cost we all pay, Rebecca.
Fine. Bed teeth!
Wild man is... Why did you send this to me? Are you trying to hide the truth? If you won't help me, I'll find someone else. Is that burning? Oh my God, he found me. He's here. He's here!
Well, it found its attention. Next.
Our tree still isn't lighting up properly, I'm afraid. The info you sent didn't seem to, work. In fact, the tree actually caught fire, so, I guess we're doing without that this year. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know.
Okay, Merry Christmas. Okay, Merry Christmas. God, how long does it take to lose in this game? Accuracy, 0%. Screw you.
This packet you sent doesn't make any sense, and there is still something in our basement. I'm calling Papa Paul's pest control from now on.
Sent you a packet for bed teeth?
They got inside. They're coming for me. Send help, please.
Alright, I'll send a speech therapist to help with your stutter.
Why did you send me this? What does this mean? Am I still going to die? Am I still going to die? Oh, God! My birthday is next week. I'll change! I swear I'll change!
I mean, it sounds like you worked it out on your own. You know, given what it actually is.
It's in my house. My son let it inside the house, and now it's drinking and eating everything. Oh!
I mean, we know it's not a threat. You're gonna be fine. I guess it does hamper your cheer. He let it in because he thought it was bed teeth?
Oh my god, I think there's an avalanche outside! Our home is right below the mountain!
Please hold.
Avalanche is code for bed teeth. You called right back to die some more? Alright, who's next? We only need to fail one more.
The doctors told me to call here. I think I caught some kind of dog disease.
Yeah.
Please hold.
Can we tell you entry inaccessible on, Alright, bed teeth then. Congratulations, you caused the apocalypse. Cheer level's critical.
Any punishment I am able to mete out pales in comparison to what will now transpire. Return to thy home and enjoy the last few precious moments of this fertile earth while it remains. Farewell, Rebecca.
Sorry to disappoint. Maybe Rodney and IT can help fix this.
Reports are coming in of strange green lights appearing in the sky.
Are panicking as the lights approach.
Extreme weather conditions across.
That was actually truly terrifying. And then you have the most comical thing ever. But that's this game, isn't it? A real ending for that game over screen, but yeah. Anyway, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Christmas Kwanzaa, goodbye. Well, we first averted and then deliberately brought on the apocalypse, all because we were bored at work. And you can't say we're not the best in our field if we have that level of control. Do you think the Federal Bureau of Control has any openings now that we're fired here? Well, that's just something else to think about, and if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this game out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. If you want to support me on Patreon, that link will be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one.